Peace, everyone. It's Poet Deep, and I'm back with Best Foot Forward, uh, episode 3. And today's topic is about how to accept people who has not shown up for us in the way that we think we should. And I think that this is a very, very important topic because some of us hold grudges, beefs that go on for years, and for some people, to the day that they die, these conflicts with people. And it's not just merely a conflict with those people, but it's also mirroring in a conflict within self when you are not able to move on from what people have done to you or might not have done. I think this topic can be very broad because different people may have done different things. Some people may have done severe damage. It's different levels of damage that people could have done. But I do believe when we become truly rooted within our spirit and within our purpose, we can learn how to put those um, disappointing events in our lives in a place where we can still be empowered. Um, we can understand people for who they are and deal with them based on who they are. But we do not create blockages and barriers within our own self, because that's what happens a lot of time when we do not understand how to get past those things. And to get past those things is to not um, examine them, is not to unpack, is not to get help. What I'm saying is you should get help. Accountability is very important. And also understanding that some people do not possess the capacity to be accountable. And the way in which how we're able to move past what people do to us is also a reflection of how we're able to move past the things that we've done to ourselves and how we feel about ourselves, because that's really at the real root of it. And we have to accept, and we have to learn that everybody does not have the capacity to do things. And that can be a very painful lesson in life, because some people, we just wish, oh, if they just understood this and da 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 da, things would be a lot better. But we have to understand that we all lack a capacity to fulfill something. Some are on different levels. Some people have a lot of things that they need to work on. But we also have to reflect on self, that we are all deficient in something, right? And some people either do not have the strength or they don't have the precedent to exercise the strength to be able to perform and execute. And some people, they can do better and they just simply choose not to do better. And for whatever those reasons are, we cannot be stuck on why people do what they do. We cannot spend our lives um, stuck on those things. We have to allow people to be who they are, and we have to determine the place that they need to be in our lives. Some of these people, they don't need to be around us at all. Some of these people need to be totally cut off, and some of these people need to be made to be put at a distance. And sometimes you have to decide what is the appropriate distance. Is it a situation whereas maybe they grow some, they get clarity, and y'all can go back to the table, or is it something so egregious whereas there is no conversation that need to be had between you and that person, and you just work within yourself and those who do love you and care for you and bring solutions, that you can be about the business of healing, because that is what we must do. We must heal, because our purpose to be here is to thrive. And if we have been broken or if we have been damaged, in order for us to thrive, we must heal. And we must learn to hold ourselves solely responsible for our healing. Regardless of what happens to us, we have to always search and see, how did we play a role in what happened, regardless of how much of someone else's fault we might deem it to be. Let's look close, because a lot of things that has happened to us, especially if it's repeatedly, guaranteed 100% we have played some role in it. And it doesn't mean that guilt should be developed, or that it should be shifted. It just means that we learn to assess who we are, how we move, and what spaces that we operate that have gave birth to certain things, because some of us do not really see our own behavior on a very critical level in the way in which how we can assess others' behaviors. So that's first, is really gaining a great knowledge of self, because the better you know yourself, the better you're able to know others, and the love that you have within yourself, the understanding that you can build within yourself, with who you really are. When you accept who you really are, the good, bad, everything, you can extend that to other people without those people being in a proximity where they could hurt you again, right? So you gotta understand that too. To forgive, and everybody or every action don't necessarily need to be forgiven, but it does need to be understood, and it needs to be resolved a certain way within your spirit, that you're able to move on clarity about what you need to do for you, and always hold yourself accountable for your prosperity, for your peace, for your joy, everything that pertains to you. You have to make that your mission and your responsibility. And it doesn't matter how great of a relationship you want, or your marriage, or we're talking about your parents, regardless, you have to always hold yourself responsible. And we have to be responsible about what we allow. We have to learn how to become smarter. Sometimes people keep telling us they're going to do better, da 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 da. And we hold them accountable based off of what they say. But you got to hold yourself accountable to have common sense after a certain point, to understand that some people are not capable of following through. And if you understand that, you have to make a decision about what you're going to choose to do that. And at the same time, if you have criticisms or disdain toward these people, make sure as much as possible these things are not a part of your character. Make sure that you're a reliable person. Make sure that you show up. Make sure you are the example of what you expect from other people, because that's something that's very problematic with a lot of us. We expect a lot of things, but we don't deliver it. We want things to just be manifested from thin air, things that we don't display. And in the principle of righteousness, it's not right to expect something from someone that you're not able to produce for yourself. And that's why everything always is going to revert back to self development. So, overall, we have to learn how to put the overall responsibility on ourselves to fix us. We have to look at our life. We have to pay attention to our patterns, because that's something else that's very, very important. It's paying attention to our patterns in our lives, and learning how to hear our inner spirit. It's good to listen to other people. It's good to pay attention and get advice. But you always got to be able to have a time where you can keep track on what your spirit is saying to you, and you exercise your ability to be obedient to your spirit. And that could be a hard thing, and that could be very difficult. But that's a decision that I believe you must make if you're really, really interested in thriving. I hope someone got something from this. Please share this. Give feedback. If whatever you think, share this if you like this. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're seeing this on YouTube. See this on Facebook, Instagram. Please share it. Check out my website by the link that I'm going to leave. Check out my single Plagues. I got a project that's coming out very soon. Be on the lookout. Check out my other videos. And just, go to my website, IamPoetDeep.com, to keep looking at my content. Let's develop, let's build, and let's have gratitude. Peace.